Hey guys, it's your boy Shmolty. Today I'm going to be talking about the PTB of Dead by Daylight with the Resident Evil chapter, mostly Nemesis, as I'm on a limited time window. So I've been focusing on just playing him. I haven't experimented with survivors much. So this will be live commentary. I don't usually do this, but hopefully it gives you some good information either way. So starting out, the killer's power. Nemesis has T-Virus. So he extends this tentacle out of his arm. That is a ranged attack, and this can be used to hit over pallets and over windows. I've had several instances where a survivor will just drop a pallet out of panic, and I simply pull out my tentacle and hit them right over it. Pretty much no effort. Now, to hit them for a health state, you have to first contaminate them, which means you'll have to hit them with the tentacle once, which won't take a health state, but will contaminate them, continue chasing them, and then from there you have an incredibly strong anti-looping power. This is kind of the biggest problem with the killer, is having to contaminate everyone and then they can go ahead and cleanse it. But because he has a standard movement speed, I don't think it's going to hurt too much, because you can always go for an M1 or kind of just play standard if you're forced to do that. And contaminating shouldn't be too hard. Zombies have the same thing. The first hit on a survivor that a zombie gets, it will simply contaminate. From then, zombie hits count as a health state. So that's kind of an interesting thing they added to his power, sort of like the plague, but not really. As you contaminate survivors with your tentacle hit, you will build up your mutation. Now there's 3 tiers of mutation. In the first tier, it is just, as I described, just a ranged attack that you can hit over pallets in the right situations or over windows. In tier 2, you can insta-break pallets using your power. Not necessarily insta, but you can use it to break pallets and sort of slowly keep moving as he recovers from the hit, which is very nice. In tier 3, you get a boost to its range. Now, it's not a huge boost, not like Pyramid Head with add-ons or anything of the sort, but it is a nice boost to his range, just for certain situations. If they make a window pretty ahead of you, you can still get the hit with your power in tier 3, which is nice. A lot of people are saying it's going to be a serious bitch to like get your power to tier 3, which it kind of is. You're going to be most of the way through the game without add-ons before you get to tier 3, but I think the main thing is getting to tier 2, and that's not a problem. I've played several games with add-ons and without. It's definitely nice to have mutation add-ons so that you get to tier 2 faster. But as long as you're hitting survivors with your power consistently, trying to infect everyone, as well as maybe killing a zombie here or there, which also boosts your mutation, I think you'll be fine. That being said, he doesn't have much else to offer in terms of add-ons, so mutation add-ons will probably be the way to go. Either way, as far as the zombies, it's going to be a lot of RNG for sure. I've had situations where I hit someone, injure them, and they run straight into a zombie that's around the corner, and they go down. I've had that happen a few times at least, which is hilarious, but also probably a serious bitch for the survivor. But I think it's a fun addition, because you have to kind of be careful of that happening. But more than them just occasionally helping out in chase to injure a survivor, they actually give great intel, and I think a decent amount of pressure on the map, which is very useful. You can obviously see the aura of the zombies as Nemesis, and if you see them with their arms out, kind of, shambling towards someone, you know there's someone right there. So actually pretty useful in that way as well. I think overall the zombies are going to help you quite a bit game to game, barring any tweaks or nerfs that really change how they work or how effective they are. So the zombies are very fun overall. I like that aspect of the killer. I think it's super unique and fun, but a lot of RNG when it comes to helping and chase, but definitely at the very least, good intel and maybe a bit of pressure, because survivors will have to deal with them on occasion. As far as perks, the first perk we have is, Lethal Pursuer. This perk is my favorite for sure of the 3 killer perks. When you spawn into the map, you'll be able to see all the survivors for 7 seconds at tier 3. This is great information, especially as like an Oni player. I think I would like to use this perk just to know exactly where I need to dart to and get that first hit right away. It's also just nice to know if all 4 survivors spawn somewhere, you can try and get there and stop that gen rush. Or, you know, there's 2 here, there's 2 here, and you know exactly where to go once you get your first chase. Overall, I think it's a super useful perk, and I really like it. The second perk we have, Hysteria, I think is pretty much polar opposite. I can't really see a reason for this over any other, you know, good perk. The survivor basically gets oblivious for 20, maybe it's 25 seconds at tier 3. I'm not totally sure. I'm not sure why it doesn't show the tier 3 version of the perk, in fact. But anyway, they get oblivious status effect when you hit a healthy survivor. So all the injured survivors just get oblivious for 20 seconds when you hit a healthy survivor. I just can't see a use for this. I mean, maybe it would stop them from curing. Maybe it'd be good for like Wraith hit and run. I'm not sure, but you can't have all winners, I guess. So that perk doesn't seem very good to me. Eruption. This is a perk that I really want to like, but I just can't see it being used over Ruin or Pop or even like Oppression. Maybe comboed with could be interesting. Comboed with Pop or something like that. That could be potentially strong. But running the perk on its own, you're just not really doing much. Taking the time to kick all the gens on the map, and then they explode for only 6% regression lost. It does incapacitate survivors for 10 seconds, might be plus a few on tier 3, but it has a cooldown as well of 90 seconds. So if you're downing survivors very frequently, like you absolutely need to be to win killer games, you're just not going to get too much use out of this. I mean, even if you're running around kicking every gen, 90 seconds, every 90 seconds, you know, you'll get a 6% loss on 1, 2, maybe 3 generators that you've kicked. It just doesn't seem that useful compared to other gen perks, but I like the idea with it, and I think game slowdown perks are a good direction. Maybe if they buff it a little bit, it could be more interesting. But that's the perks. We've gone over the power. Overall, I think this killer is going to be very strong. He has the normal attributes, 4.6 meters a second. He's, you know, standard speed, so you don't have to worry about being too slow. Normal terror radius. He is tall as shit, easily the tallest killer in the game by quite a large margin. He's massive, so no stealth, but I don't think you're going to need that because his 1v1 could be really incredible, especially if you get good with the power so that survivors have a hard time juking you. And the pallet mine game will be very similar to Pyramid Head. I think maybe better in some ways, worse in others. Because with his power, you get slowed down a ton, so they can just sort of greed the loop, keep going, and you miss out on the hit immediately. But with his power, as long as you pull it out, you can react to what they do. If they keep going and you have tier 3, you can just try to get the hit anyway. You just have to read their dodge, or if they don't dodge, you should just be able to get them. Or if they drop the pallet, you can just react and just hit right over it. So he'll be very strong in that respect. And I love the zombies. I think they're a ton of fun. Could be a pain in the ass as a survivor, but as Nemesis, I just think it's hilarious watching the survivor get hit by them or hearing them get downed across the map. Or it's great to just see them chasing someone, so I know exactly where someone's at. I think Nemesis will be a really good killer overall. I'm interested to see how they tweak him going forward. And yeah, that's going to be my overall thoughts on the killer. I'm not going to go over the survivor and the map too much because I am on a time constraint here. I will say I like the map visually. It is really awesome. But I am scared because it is massive and kind of confusing. Having played RE2 myself, the layout's not too confusing to me, but routing to where I need to go and trying to figure out the fastest way to get there is kind of a bitch. But I can't say for sure how I'll feel about the map until I've played it enough. So I won't go into too much detail, but I think the consensus is it's a little too massive. So unfortunate there, but visually I think the map's amazing. They did a really great job replicating the feel of RE2 with a Dead by Daylight twist, so that's cool. I like the survivors. I won't go too in depth into them. I think I'll probably wait for the full release before I go over that too much because I've been focusing on Nemesis. So without rambling your fucking ear off, I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Love the killer. Love this DLC. It is great. I'm very excited for the full release. I hope you guys are too. And I will continue to make content on it when it actually officially drops. So I appreciate you guys watching the video. I hope it was informational and helpful to you. And yeah, I don't normally do this live commentary, so let me know what you think in the comments below. But I will catch you later.